Two women, two of the most feared rising strikers on the planet, one from Japan, one from Sweden, both undefeated in the arena that made them famous, both leaving a trail of finished opponents behind them. Mona Kimura throws a sidekick so fast and so precise that Japanese gyms named it after her. Smilla Sundell traps you against the ropes and does not stop until the referee saves you. They have never fought. They may never fight. They do not even compete in the same sport. But if you put their resumes side by side, one question becomes impossible to ignore. Who is the more terrifying force in women's striking right now? This is the tale of the tape. You decide. Let's get into it. Context and stakes. Start with what makes this comparison so hard, because it is the whole story. Mona Kimura is a K1 kickboxer. Her game lives inside kickboxing rules. The Mona kick, the straight left down the middle, distance control, precision at range. She competes around 52 kilos, and she has 4 fights into a professional career that has already gone viral across the world. Smilla Sundell is a Muay Thai world champion turned MMA fighter. Her game is the clinch, the knees, the elbows, and now wrestling and jiu-jitsu on top of it. She won a world title at 17, holds a Guinness World Record, and has since moved up to bantamweight in MMA. So these two do not share a rule set, a weight, or a sport. What they share is something rare. Both of them finish people, both of them are undefeated where it counts, and both of them are being called the future of women's striking at the same moment in history. To compare them honestly, you look at what each has actually done. 2 defining fights each. Then you judge for yourself. Kimura, the debut, Ai Ogiwara. Kimura walked into her professional debut at the most famous fight venue in Japan, carrying an amateur record with no wins on it, wearing a costume-like outfit, standing sideways in a stance most coaches would call a liability. 92 seconds later, the entire kickboxing world knew her name. She controlled the distance from the first exchange, planted her feet, and drove a straight left down the middle that landed flush. The referee waved it off at 1 minute and 32 seconds of round 1. The clip spread across the internet within days. 50 Cent shared it, and gamers started calling her the real-life Chun-Li. A fighter with 1 professional win became one of the most talked-about strikers on earth overnight. That is the Kimura headline. Now here is the substance behind it. The veteran, Satoko Ozawa. Ozawa was the veteran, the kind of opponent who has seen every flashy prospect come and go and knows how experience grinds novelty down. She came to pressure, to cut off the ring, and to drag Kimura somewhere the highlight reels had never been. Kimura opened with a high kick and never gave the fight back. Sharp jabs and straight lefts split Ozawa's guard, while the side kicks kept resetting her position. A double jab and a high kick put Ozawa down. The cuts opened, the bleeding got heavy enough that the referee kept pausing to have it cleaned, and by round 2, the ringside doctor had seen enough. The fight was stopped at 1 minute and 8 seconds of the second round. The lesson of the Ozawa fight is the important one. The viral debut was not a fluke. The system beats experience too. Now flip to the other side of the world. Sundell, the record setter, Jackie Bunton. This is the fight that put Sundell in the record books. The inaugural 1 women's strawweight Muay Thai World Championship, and a 17-year-old with 1 promotional fight against an experienced American who had promised publicly to expose her as careless. 5 rounds later, the promise had gone entirely one way. Every time Buntan tried to establish her range, Sundell was already inside it. The clinch closed, the knees arrived. The pressure never dropped across 15 minutes, and Buntan never found the space to change it. Unanimous decision. At 17 years and 161 days old, Smilla Sundell became the youngest world champion in one championship history, a mark Guinness recorded permanently. Where Kimura finishes fast, Sundell drowns you slow. The next fight shows what happens when she decides to finish fast too. Sundell, the liver shot. One Fight Night 22, May 4th, 2024. Lumpinee Boxing Stadium, Bangkok. Before this one started, Sundell came in 1.5 pounds over the limit and was stripped of her title on the scale. Only Diakhova could win the belt that night. Sundell fought anyway. Diakhova, a sharp Russian boxer, started strong and made Sundell absorb real damage early. Then round two arrived and Sundell showed the finishing instinct underneath the pressure. She closed the distance, dug a left hand into the body, and Diakova buckled the instant the liver shot landed. Sundell swarmed with knees and punches until the referee waved it off at 2 minutes and 59 seconds of round two. She won the fight and lost the belt to the scale, but she proved the pressure comes with a finish behind it. The tale of the tape. Now line them up. Kimura is the range assassin. 4 professional fights, all wins, 2 stoppages, a weapon so distinct it carries her name. She fights going forward, but she wins by control, using the side kick the way a boxer uses a jab, never letting an opponent set their feet. Her edge is precision, timing, and a style nobody has trained to solve. Sundell is the pressure machine. A world title at 17, a Guinness World Record, 5-1 fights with 3 brutal stoppages, and a successful jump to MMA, where she is 2-0. Her edge is the clinch, the knee, the elbow, the sheer refusal to let a fight breathe, and now a growing ground game on top of it all. The honest complication remains. Kimura's whole game lives in kickboxing rules, where much of Sundell's arsenal, the clinch knees, the elbows, the takedowns, would be illegal. Under Muay Thai rules, Sundell's clinch becomes a nightmare Kimura has never had to face. And there is a real size gap, with Sundell now competing 2 weight classes north of where Kimura fights. There is no neutral ground where both are doing their actual sport at the same weight, which is exactly why it is a debate and not a prediction. So who is the more terrifying force in women's striking right now? If the question is who ends fights faster, Kimura's 92-second debut and the Ozawa stoppage make a loud case, and she has done it while going viral across the entire planet. If the question is who has beaten the higher level of competition, Sundell's world title at 17, her Guinness record, and her clean jump to MMA are hard to argue against. One is the precision striker with a kick that has its own name. The other is the pressure fighter who became a world champion before she could legally drink. Both are undefeated where it counts. Both are still improving, and both are right now among the most dangerous rising women in the sport. They have never fought. Styles, sports, and weight classes stand in the way, and they may never share a ring. But the argument over who would win is exactly the kind of argument that makes this era of women's striking so good to watch. The tape is on the table. The verdict is yours. CTA, drop a comment. If these two ever met at a catchweight, who takes it? Mona Kimura's precision or Smilla Sundell's pressure? Hit like and subscribe for more breakdowns. See you in the next fight.